So, Chelly.
Yep.
Picture this, okay? Close your eyes.
Mm-hmm. I'm scared.
You're being held captive by a dragon.
Oh.
Not a sexy dragon. Don't get it twisted. Just a dragon. Boring, I know.
I hate it.
Okay.
I'm like missing my mouth. I have a drink.
Okay. Focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, another dragon comes by.
Is he also not sexy?
No, he's pretty sexy, but not yet though.
Oh, okay.
He turns into a man and then he's sexy.
So not sexy as a dragon. For some.
Okay, well, I mean, look, I'm not going to judge. No,
yeah, no.
If you find him sexy, okay, sure.
Okay.
You see him and you're like, okay, this is my opportunity. All I have to do is maybe drug him a little bit and convince him.
Wait. Like drug him?
Yeah, drug him.
Okay.
Keep up, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back in.
You're like, okay, I'm going to drug him a little bit, and then I'm going to convince him to take me out of here and take me home, wherever that is. It seems like it's very far away, okay?
That seems like it'll work.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Exactly.
I mean, I could drug him. It's
okay.
fine.
Okay, perfect.
No,
okay.
allegedly. Please don't.
Allegedly.
Not real. I'll take.
In a book. Okay. Okay, so it's just you and this handsome dragon alone, okay?
I'm sorry, open my eyes. I'm out. Okay, I'm back in. Okay, go.
And then you slip a little something in his drink and you're talking to him. He's still not drugged yet.
Yeah, okay.
It hasn't taken effect yet. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I just really want to go home. And he's like, oh, I could take you home. Oh.
Is he drugged already?
Well, the effect takes,
But he was down to begin with. So
yeah.
I didn't have. I'm back in reality.
You didn't have to do that.
So I just committed a crime.
You just committed a crime.
To like a really nice dragon man.
Yeah.
Who's sexy.
Don't forget that.
Shit.
And you just kind of have to wait it out until he's good. And then fingers crossed he takes you home.
I'm sorry.
Wait.
I had to drug you.
I thought you were one of those bad dragons.
Can you blind me? Actually, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it is messed up.
He would never talk to me again if I did that.
Well, here's the thing in this fake scenario, okay? You are this dragon's soulmate, but you don't know that. You're his soulmate. Isn't that kind of cute? And
I drugged him?
You did.
Oh my God, think about the memories. Our wedding, we talk about it.
when you do your vows, you're like,
remember when I drugged you, babe? Babe.
It's like, yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah?
This seems like the perfect love story. I'm down and I'm ready.
Okay, you're ready?
Yes.
Okay, do you think that this book could possibly fix your life?
It already has.
Okay, good. Thank God. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Book Fix podcast, where we attempt to fix lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Yahida.
And I'm your host, Chelly. And today we are visiting an old friend. You guys remember Kimberly Lemming?
Yeah, we've done her other two books. Yeah.
We are reading the third book of the Mead Mishaps called The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. Dude, let's talk about Kimberly Lemming for a bit.
Okay. What do you want to say?
I love her.
Me too.
Oh my gosh. We had only originally planned to do one of her books, but I don't remember why we read the second one.
I think we were on a time crunch, and her Mead Mishaps books are pretty short.
Yeah, they are.
And we were like, okay, you know what? We should just do the first one and the second one. Not knowing that we were going to really fucking love them.
You loved the first one.
And you loved the second one, which I knew you would because you're more of a werewolf girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Wasn't really a compliment, but okay. Just
so
kidding.
We heard that this book was going to come out, and I think it came out a long time ago, but we had trouble finding it on Kindle or on anything. So I'm glad we were able to find a copy because, oh my God, I love Kimberly Lemming. She's so down to earth, dude. I follow her on Instagram. Oh, sweetest lady.
She seems really nice. And I was able to listen to this on Spotify. Shout out to Spotify. I hate that they're doing only 15 hours, though.
Really?
That's
so it won't go over?
No, you can't save any time. Like, it doesn't transfer over,
That's so weird.
I know. How do they keep track of that?
I don't know.
And if I listen to it in 3 times speed.
Does it count? Really? Wait, in a whole year, you can only listen to 15?
No,
or in,
monthly.
Your whole life?
Monthly.
Okay. Your whole life, you're done. No more books.
Oh my God, can you imagine? No, it's monthly. Thank God.
Damn, that kind of sucks. Okay, well, you know what? I'm excited to go back into this journey because, dude, I love the characters. And the humor in this book is so A plus. So let's go ahead and just start talking about our main girl. Her name is Cherry. And I think we know off the bat who Cherry is.
Yeah, because the way that she's introduced, you know who that is. So in the first book, it was Cinnamon and Fallon's love story.
Yes.
And Cinnamon mentioned that she lost her sister, Cherry, to drowning. So when Cherry is introduced in this book, she basically says, like, damn, drowning sucks every single time, because she constantly has recurring nightmares of that moment where she fell into the swamp and was taken away by some creature.
So she now lives in this place where a dragon named Gideon is holding her captive. But it's like weird because he doesn't bother her or talk to her. But anytime she attempts to leave this island, he automatically is like, no. He doesn't even talk.
He never talks to her. He just kind of like drags her back.
So she's just stuck in this like hell, basically. And she knows nothing that's going on in the world. Like, not kept up with the times at all.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. She's missed out on so much.
I know. But she's very much like Cinnamon in the way where she just kind of takes life the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, she's very jokey about very serious situations. So when she comes across Dante, the dragon, I think it's really funny how she's just like, I'm going to drug this bitch. So
It's because the way that she tried to rationalize it, though, was like, oh, you know what? I can't trust the other dragon. What makes me think I'm going to be able to trust this dragon? And so that's how she rationalizes it. I kind of wish it didn't happen that way, though, but I guess I get it, maybe.
Dude, and I do want to say, though, with Dante, because we do know him, he has popped up in the other two books. But when I think about Fallon, I'm a little more like, I can excuse the actions that he did because I feel like it was written well. And then for Felix, same. I can excuse a lot of what he did because he was very understanding, like, I can't do this because we're under, like, the love potion spell or whatever the fuck. But then, doesn't it kind of seem with Dante, like, he's had experiences with humans? So, like, for him to do certain things that he did in this book, I'm just kind of like,
yeah.
So, like, Dante has Cinnamon and Bree, which are the two other girls from the other two books, who are basically teaching him how to be human. And it's kind of cute because they're teaching him how to, like, shake hands.
Yeah, because he is obviously a lot stronger than anybody. So they're like, oh, my God, you broke my shoulder, you bitch.
But he's like, I'm sorry. I'm learning, okay? But I think it's kind of funny because he's over here learning this because he's so jealous of his friends who have, like, their soulmates.
Yeah, I felt bad for him. Dude. Yeah, I felt bad for him because you could really tell that he was kind of envious of the bonds that his friends formed. And he was like, fuck, when is it my turn? And he knew that his soulmate had to be a human because he basically knew all of the dragons and all of the other creatures. He was like, yeah, it's not any one of these things, so it has to be a human.
So when he ends up on that island, because he was going to go talk to Gideon the dragon, and was telling Gideon, like, hey, there's a whole life out there. Like, you don't have to just stick here. And Gideon basically said no. Cherry sees this and is like, I'm going to drug that bitch so I can get out. But at that point, Dante goes to where Cherry was staying, like the room, smells it, and he's like, soulmate.
Yeah, he's right like, here. She was here. Yeah,
God. And then when she comes in, he's immediately like, I will do anything for you. Oh, my gosh. And they go and she makes him tea, but it's the drug tea, and he tastes it and he's like, kind of gross, but she made it for me.
No, but he was also saying, like, damn, it smells so bad.
Yeah.
But he knew that he couldn't refuse it because that's his soulmate.
But then when he's completely drugged out, I thought it was really funny how she walked away. Well, at first she was like, please don't drink that. You know, like,
well, drink the rest of it because he already took sips.
Yeah. But she felt bad and, like, left the room for a bit. And then he was, like, Felix was in front of him. and was like, bitch, you gotta leave. It's like, what are you talking about, Felix? I'm fine.
That girl just drugged you.
And then he's like, Felix, what are you talking about? How do you know I'm drugged? It's like, bitch, you're talking to a banana. And it's like not even Felix, it's just fruit. And he's talking to all these fruit. And then she comes back and Dante's like in tears. He's like, my arms are snakes. They have left me. I don't want to be in a world where my arms leave me. And it's like, babe, you still got arms. Mm-hmm. But he was so like, you drugged me, but it's okay because I love you. Or, you know, he was just so like already in love.
He was like, we all make mistakes. It's fine.
So then she apologizes and was like, I just wanted to go home. And he was like, okay, fine, I'll take you home. And like misunderstands the situation. I don't even know how they misunderstood what happened. Mm-hmm. But he took that as an okay to bite her, pass his magic on to her. And that's basically how, like, they get married.
That's the soulmate bond, right?
Yes. And then he takes her to his home. And then when they get there, she was like...
Wait. Pause.
Okay.
So, before he bites her, remember, he is still drugged. Mm-hmm. He tells her, I need you to say yes. And she's like, what? Yep. Say yes to what? And he's like, just say yes. And she's like, okay, yes.
Because she thought they were going to kiss.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and then that's when he bit her. But the way that it's justified later, it's like, well, I mean, you drugged me, and I'm a dragon, so...
Yep. And then it's also...
you smell so delicious.
But I kind of hate it, though, that it's always brought up, like... She keeps going, like, I never wanted this. I was like, yeah, but you did say yes when I was drugged, because you drugged me, so now you suffer the consequences. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't really feel right to me.
Yeah.
The way that was, like, kind of pushed.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It also kind of gave me a little bit of the ick.
Right.
When he would be, like, trying to justify that. Mm. I wish that it did not happen that way. And like, the whole, like, biting when she doesn't even know what she's agreeing to.
How do you feel when the first time they kind of were about to fool around?
It was the bathroom?
After Fallon had called. And he was like, Fallon, how do you get a girl to like you? Because obviously Cinnamon loves you. How'd you do it?
Addicted to you.
And then he was just like, I just ate her out.
Yeah. You just got to do that.
And he's like, oh my God.
That's it?
All taking notes. Like, damn, okay, fine. Mm-hmm. So, and then the other thing was like, and then buy her nice things. Mm-hmm. So he comes in, fucking Cherry is like touching herself.
In the bathtub.
Mm-hmm. Thinking about Dante. And then Dante just walks in and she's just like shocked, doesn't know what to say. And he comes in with a tiara, puts it on her head, like walks into the water fully clothed, and then just starts eating her out. And I had to close my iPad because I was like, didn't they just meet like 2 seconds ago?
Yeah. And she was like, what the fuck?
I don't know how to feel about that.
I get it.
Were you still down for this book?
I feel like at that point I was kind of like hesitating, like, wait, do I like this? Mm-hmm. I didn't like the certain parts of the beginning, but I was like,
this felt kind of like a lot because she was also saying no for a bit, mm-hmm. and he wasn't stopping mm-hmm. for a bit. He did eventually stop. But I was just kind of like, this doesn't feel like the second Kimberly Lemming book that I love so much.
Yeah.
And so...
The second one, not the fucking first one.
I love the first one, but the second one just has a special place in my heart.
Why?
It just does. It's beautiful. So I was just a little thrown off. And then I tried justifying it with like, okay, Dante is 704 years young.
But he's also stupid.
But also he has the advantage of being on a pirate ship with humans for a year. Mm-hmm. So I would assume that he would know how to interact with them. But it's always just kind of like...
I feel like it's different with the courtship. Like the courting part of it. I don't know who is courting who on the pirate ship, you know?
Yeah.
Not me trying to justify it. I'm just trying to understand this character. I have no idea, honestly. Mm-hmm. I feel like he should have known, especially because he's been around Cinnamon and Brie.
Yeah.
But it felt like he was completely clueless.
It did. And then this feeling of the readers knowing that this is Cinnamon's sister.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole book going like, I'm not going to tell you my last name or where I'm from. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to take you back to where, you know, where I live right now, but I'm not going to tell you where. And it's like, if you guys just communicated, the rest of the story wouldn't have had to happen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what annoyed me too. But I liked both of them. I did. And Kimberly Lemming's Spice is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. But I also like, when it would happen, it would throw me off because there was no, like, there was sexual tension, but then leading up to it, it's like, oh, it's just happening now. You know what I mean?
It kind of happened very quickly.
Because the second time, which was like the first time they have sex, was in a maze. And before they had sex, they had like a conversation where he basically told her like, well, I'm not a patient person, so you got to calm down with your flirting because like you don't know where that's going to lead. And you could tell that she was down. But what I expected them to do, I thought he was going to, because he was over here trying to court her. Yeah. I thought he was actually going to take her, you know, somewhere romantic.
Somewhere romantic? That's what I was thinking too. I was like, okay, if it happens, you know, at this point she seems kind of ready, I guess. Yeah. And I was like, okay, he's going to do something nice for her. Nope. No.
And like there was this whole like thing too, like this bet that they had made that if she made any noise.
Oh, yeah, he cheated.
Yeah. And so, like, if she was quiet, he would sing to her. And
because he was in a band.
Yeah. But even though she wasn't quiet and he lost, I still wanted her or him to sing to her. Like, there was a part of me
he
that
never
still
did,
wanted
huh?
that. No. And it's
I
like,
completely forgot about that.
After you've done everything for her, you've literally done everything, and you don't even want to sing to her.
I feel like that for him is, like, the line, you know? He's like, this is so embarrassing. Because he's not in a band anymore. It's, like, in the past. Yeah, I kind of expected him to sing for her, too. I hate that he didn't.
She also had very questionable interests because she would be like, I'm not into Dante. Shut the fuck up. I'm not. And then he would say, like, someone hurt my wife. You know what? I'm going to go fuck him up. Don't even tell me who it is. I'm just going to burn this whole town to the ground. And then you point at the ashes that did it. And then she's like, wait, that's kind of... Why am I kind of, you know, like, she'd be, like, all flustered, and I'm like, hello?
I feel like some of the parts felt like, I don't know what the word is. Is hyperbolic the word? Like, where it's, like, so overly exaggerated that it's, like, ridiculous, but it's, like, a little bit funny. Like, to me, that's how I was taking some of these moments. I was like, I'm not...
But I understand that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was done better in the first and second book.
Yeah, I agree.
There was this one scene in the second book after the spice had happened. And both Cinnamon and Bree are sitting together, and Bree's talking about it. And she's like, damn, it was all the tropes. He had me up on the ceiling. He had me, and, you know, she was, like, talking about it. And to me, that's funny. But, like, when Cherry would talk about it, it was just kind of, she would call it, like, what was it, dragon slut magic?
Yeah, she said dragon slut curse, or maybe it was magic. I don't remember.
And I was like, that's not, I don't think that's funny.
Yeah. I thought it was okay, that part.
I don't know. I was kind of over it by this point.
Yeah.
But I was still down because I was like, you know what? They seem like they can be cute. So, okay, I'm going to keep going. And so then they get to, like, a point where Felix calls Dante. And I thought this would be a bigger deal. He was just like, okay, you have traumatized your human. So here's what you do. Here's your steps if you traumatize your human. She needs to go to Usha.
To stay with her because she needs to be with a human.
Yes.
And then she has to decide if she wants to go back with you or not.
And
that was like, his advice.
But I love her though.
I felt like that part to me was weird. Like the whole like Felix trying to give him advice. Because to me, Felix wasn't really like listening to him. It was more so just like, well, wait, she's scared of you, right? Because I mean, obviously, like, don't even tell me the last 5 interactions you've had with her. I'm just gonna assume she's scared of you. So this is what you got to do. Like to me, that direction was a little bit. I don't know. Like, I felt like it would have annoyed me if she would have gone and stayed with Usha.
And I kind of hate that was the last phone interaction they had. But then when they met in person, Felix did not bring that up at all. And he was just like, bestie. Oh my God, Dante, best friend for life.
Yes. Did he tell you he's my best friend?
Bestie for life. We got tattoos. He didn't get his yet, but I got mine.
And Dante's like, no, he's not my best friend.
I did really like the point though when Felix met Cherry and was like, "You smell like cinnamon." Yeah. And she was like, "Yeah, I was carrying the spice." And he was like, "No, that's not what I meant."
Yeah. But then he gets pulled. Cute. He gets pulled away. Mm-hmm. I kind of would have expected Dante to smell like some resemblance, right?
And he said it later too. He was like, "Wait, you know what? You do look like cinnamon."
Yeah.
And it's like, it took you this long.
Yeah, like near the end of the book. Like even the smell though. He should have been like, "Wait, are you related by any chance?" Mm-hmm. I kind of wish that the way that Cherry and Cinnamon saw each other for the first time would have played differently.
In what way?
Like just more meaningful. Like basically what happened was near the end, she finally tells him her last name and he's like, "Oh, are you related to Cinnamon?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's my sister." And he's like, and then I think time passes by and then she like finally sees her, right? Yep. And it's very just like epilogue. It's just like cool, you know?
And she's a crying mess and they're hugging and then they pull in Dante into the hug and then Felix just wraps his arm around everyone.
And it's like, "Felix, get off
of me, Felix."
Yeah.
And that was it. The end.
I like that she sees the mom though. Yeah. That part was really cute. That she just like hugs her and she says "Mom, home" or something like that. I thought that part was really cute.
Dude, it just I don't know. I really like Kimberly Lemming, but this book didn't like satisfy my Kimberly Lemming itch that I had. Yeah. That I missed from the first and the second book. And I don't know what it is. It might be the fact that he was so inept with understanding the social cues of like a romantic relationship, which I thought he would understand them. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I kind of wanted this one to be more romantic than what it was. I felt like it was like okay romance level.
And I didn't really understand their voyage because their voyage was to go see a unicorn.
Yeah, because she had always wanted to go see a unicorn, but throughout the journey, like she just saw a bunch of other creatures and she's just like excited by it. And then basically he calls Fallon and Fallon sees that Dante has like a Triton. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh my God, if we get the Triton and then like two other things, I forgot what they were.
The shield and the sword.
Yeah. Whatever. And we take it to a tomb, then we can awake this one god, I think. I don't remember exactly what this part was, but at the end, you're kind of like alluded that, oh, this quest is going to happen later on, past this book. But I'm kind of bummed that you're so disappointed by this book.
Yeah, I am, because the thing is, I'm down to continue reading. I think it was supposed to end at book 3, though. So I didn't know that there was supposed to be a book 4. But you're right. It did feel like there would be more. But the thing, I didn't see Cherry and Dante's relationship as realistic. You know, and I think that's what bothers me because I loved, and I still do love all the characters. And separately, I really like Dante and Cherry. But I feel like together, it was so quick. You know, and I do understand that she was in the honeymoon phase, but even when Cinnamon and Bree were in the honeymoon phase, it wasn't like that, you know?
Yeah, I kind of do wish that there was more tension. Like you said, everything happened so quickly. Like when they did finally do stuff, even when they were messing around without her consent, it was like there was no tension here.
Yeah. You know what's one thing I really enjoyed, though? The parts that weren't pushed for the sexual tension and were just very wholesome. So there was this one scene where she was making cinnamon rolls and... Oh, no, it was before... She was in the process of making it, so they weren't done yet. And she was like, "Can you go over there, Dante, and punch the dough?" He's like, "Really? You want me to punch that dough?" And dude, he fucking goes off on that dough. Yeah. And then she was like, "Sweetheart, you need to take a step back." Yeah. Okay. And he takes a step back and she's like, "No, you gotta like be gone. Like you can't be around it." And he leaves, and in her mind, she's like, "Oh, he's mad." You know? And so she makes the cinnamon rolls, gives him one, and he's like not responding to her and walks away and calls Felix on the mirror. And it's funny because I think Usha answers, and she's like, how are you in my mirror?
Yeah.
He's like, please pass it to Felix. Tell him I'm on the mirror. And she's like, oh, okay, Felix, Dante's on the mirror for you.
Yeah.
And so Felix, or no, I think it's Fallon that comes. And he's like, how do you tell someone you love them? This is it. I feel like it's it. It's like, didn't you meet her like 2 days ago? And it's funny because it's like, no, you don't get it. She made me a cinnamon roll and called me a sweetheart. And I think Fallon or Felix is just like, oh my God, you should have said so. Okay, here's what you do.
He's like, oh my God, she is in love with you.
Oh my God.
I kind of love how like they're all kind of stupid. Even if they do have like their mates, it's like, wow, these bitches are dumb.
They're like, yeah, we understand women. Look at me.
Look at me. I'm with my soulmate, obviously.
But I kind of also really love that they're so like in love with them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that mate of theirs is their entire world. And even like the last spice scene between Cherry and Dante, where Cherry tries to like initiate touch, and Dante's like, no, it is my turn to worship you. And I'm just like, fuck me up.
Yeah.
That final spice scene when she's like teasing him and he's like, don't mess with me because you're going to be naked and with a collar. And then he actually pulls out a collar and she was like, bitch, what the fuck? It's like, I'm just optimistic. Like I felt it coming.
Yeah.
I bought it when we were on the way down. Bitch.
I love that part where he gives her the tiara, where he gives Cherry the tiara, and at first she's like, you can't buy me. And he's like, well, I mean, you can have, I mean, everything that's mine is yours. And she's like, well, in that case,
I know.
She puts it back on. She's just like, all right, well, I mean, I'm not going to fight you. I mean,
even when they're having sex the final time, and he's like, how attached are you to your clothes? And she's like, bitch, it's fine. My husband's rich. And she was like, oh, yes. I love that response.
I also love those moments where he doesn't like copper, so they just carry silver and gold, which is like ridiculous amount of money. And anytime like they would go somewhere, or I think she would go like buy things or go out to eat. I can't remember exactly what moments they were, and she'd be like, "Oh, here you go," and she would give them like gold or silver, and they were like, this is way too much, ma'am. Your thing was 7 coppers. That's it.
I got like 20 gold. Like, there you go.
Here you go.
And then my money.
And that guy was like, I quit. Fuck you guys.
Dude, yeah. I love also when he would buy her things. So like I forget what, but her feet got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, I bought you shoes. And it was like 20 pairs.
And she's like, yeah, I see that.
And then he was like, I'm sorry, are you mad? It's like, no. No, I'm not.
About
Trust
shoes?
me, this is amazing.
I don't think so.
I love that.
How did you feel about the plot, though? Like, where the story was headed after she was at his place?
I don't really care for the plot.
No?
Like, I wasn't really following it. And it makes me sad because I was in the first and second book, but now it felt like, I don't know. You know how you can get exhaustion with certain type of stories?
Yeah.
Like, if you hear or see too much of it, it's just like, I'm kind of over it already.
Really?
So
was it just this one book, or do you mean like the
universe?
Well, yeah, the universe, or is it like the type of book it is? Like, you know what I mean? Like the genre?
I don't know, because then I like think like it kind of takes me out sometimes reading a fantasy book that has modern type of humor. You know what I mean?
Which we did mention in the first book.
And in the first 2, it wasn't as bad. But for some reason, this one, when she would make certain jokes, I was like, oh.
Really? Because I feel like in the first one, there was... I don't remember the second one that well, but I do remember in the first book, there was like a lot of like modern day jokes.
I feel like hers is just the fact that anytime she went through something, and I think Cinnamon did the same thing, the way they would curse would be with foods.
Oh, yeah.
So she'd be like, oh, cheese and rice.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, I don't know. I think that even though this is not my favorite Kimberly Lemming book, it doesn't take away from me wanting to still support her.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still going to read anything she produces because I think she's funny. Yeah. And I think that I have no problem with her writing style at all. But I think I would like to see her write outside of this universe now. Like, I think I'm okay with putting this universe to rest.
I don't think she will, though.
I don't think she will.
I feel like maybe the next book will just be like not that time I got drunk. You know what I mean? Like, it'll still be connected, but it'll be like its own thing where it's like all of the characters now.
You think so, though? Because it feels like every time one of her books got released, whoever the main characters were before, it just became side characters. And I don't know how I felt about that because I cared so much for all these characters. I don't want to see them as side characters. And I think that's why the first book was so good, because the first book really went into all the characters. And the second book, not as much, but because we had read them back to back, I think we were just on that Kimberly Lemming high. Yeah. That we were just like, oh, this is amazing. But now it's just kind of like, I just remember liking Fallon and Felix and Bree. I like Cinnamon too, but I loved Bree. And
Cinnamon, don't be rude.
I loved them, but then to see them just not really take part in the story except for like the mirror calls.
Yeah, and then the hug at the end.
Yeah, worth it. But like,
yeah, it was cute. That part was cute.
Well, what do you think? How did you feel about this book?
I feel like when I first finished the book, you know, because I flew right through this book, I was more like liking it. I was more like, oh, that book was really cute. Like, I liked certain moments about it. Like, yeah, they were like whatever. But then when I was like telling my boyfriend about it, I was like, you know what? It is kind of weird. Like, certain parts gave me the ick though, and they were giving me the ick as I was reading them, but I was kind of just like, it's fine. Maybe it'll get better. It's fine. I hated that she drugged him. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it could have been different, you know, that it would have worked better.
Yes.
Than her just drugging him. I hate that he just bit her. Like, as a soulmate bond, whatever. That part, hated it. And I don't know, like, I feel like
the first spice scene?
Didn't really like the first. Oh, well, I liked the spice itself, but I didn't like the build up to it. Because there was no build up. It just kind of happened. I just feel like I expected more romance and a little bit more tension, especially because she was so reluctant to take on the role as wife for him. I don't know. Like, I wanted a little bit more tension between them.
It would have actually been nice to see, because Fallon and Felix were very sexually driven characters. It would have been nice to see Dante be the opposite. And, like, you know, there would still be spice, but for him to want the companionship more. Yes. Especially because he was so lonely in the beginning. I really like that part where he was playing the cello and Cherry was like, damn, that song just sounds lonely as shit. Yeah. That is so sad.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I've been lonely.
So I wish it would have been more of like, you know what? I just kind of want you to sit with me. Or I just want you to go to this place with me, or go on a walk with me, appreciate what I appreciate, and I want to appreciate what you appreciate.
Yeah.
But it
and even the moments where they were trying to get to know each other, I didn't like that they would voice that they would be like, oh, we need to bond, you know what I mean? Like, we need to get to know each other because they're lifelong partners now. And then for someone like Cherry, who was so against it, I hated the fact that she joked about it so much, and she was like, yeah, husband. Yeah. And I'm like, this means a lot to him. Like, I thought you hated him.
I know. So, and I just thought she switched sides so quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, I do understand that, you know, she was desperate to get out of the situation that she was in with Gideon, the other dragon. But, and then also when she was like, oh my God, I just traded another prison for another prison, prettier prison, but still a prison. I kind of wish that her character was developed a little bit differently, because I do agree with you, Chelly, that she would like flip-flop a lot, where she would be like, I don't want this. This isn't, you know, what I want for my future. I don't want to be locked in here. And then she would flip to, well, you know, he's my husband. Okay.
Yeah. How do you feel, though? Because it feels like both you and I are kind of in a similar spot. Because I do really like this book. Yeah. But then I don't want to say it's the best book, but then I feel bad because I really like her. And this kind of goes with if you really like the author and they produce a shitty book, then it's kind of like.
I wouldn't say this is a shitty book, though.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but you know what I mean? There are some times where, like, an author you really like didn't produce what you thought would have been amazing. Kind of like, I really like the book, but that hit Mafi when she released these Infinite Threads.
And then we sat with it.
And people were like, this book is only 2 days long in book form. Yeah. Remember? And it was like... That's kind of how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. I feel like I'm feeling the same way, basically.
But I think...
Which is a bummer.
Yeah, it is a bummer, but I could still see myself recommending this series to a friend. Like, someone who's not a reader would probably enjoy this because it's funny. Yeah. And the spice is good.
Yeah, but I mean, the first two are definitely a lot better.
Oh, the second one?
No, the first one. Good. The first one.
Dude, I'm glad that we both like it, but, like, don't kid yourself.
What do you mean?
The second one's so good.
Oh, the world? Like, we both like the world?
Yeah. But the second one's just so good.
Okay, so what would you rate that time I got drunk and saved a human?
Damn. If I had to rate it, it's kind of hard. Well, it has a 4.26 on Goodreads. And overall, it was very well liked. I think I would give it like a 3. But on Storygraph, probably like a 2.5.
Really? I'm leaning more towards like a 3.5.
Okay. And like I respect that. I respect that. I really do like the art for the front, by the way.
The art is so nice.
He's so handsome, dude.
He is really handsome.
And she's so cute.
I just wish they would have had more cute moments.
More romantic moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I wish it wasn't as rushed. I mean, it was like 280 pages. You could have done a lot more. But I'm still going to support Kimberly Lemming. Yeah. I hope that she goes away from this. And like you said, she probably won't in a bit.
I don't think she will.
Because even like the other book that she released is still part of the Mead Mishaps. It's a 1.5. Yeah. Everything else, I'm not really sure what it is, but I just want to see her write more.
Yeah, but I feel like I still really like her world. So if she keeps releasing more Mead Mishaps, I'm still going to be excited for them.
I get it. Should we read some reviews?
Sure.
Okay. I want to read a few 1 stars. Show me your 1 stars.
I have a feeling I know what they're going to say.
Watch me read them and completely disagree. And it's like, no, you didn't get it.
You didn't understand the magic in this book.
Okay, stop me whenever you want, but I'm going to read a few 1-star reviews and see if it changes my mind. I'm going to 5 out of 5 this book.
On Goodreads?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea why people like this book so much. Right off the bat, Dante shows us he is willing to leave out important details to get what he wants with very little consent. He was drugged. I just want to say that.
She did drug him.
I do understand what they're getting at, but he was also not completely there. Yeah. Okay. I haven't read the other 2 books.
What? Wait, why would you okay, first of all, with any book series, why would you start with the 3rd book?
What the fuck? This is like when my brother, there's this game called Kingdom Hearts, and I had gotten all of them, and he was like, just play the 3rd one. And then from there, play the 1st one. And then play, like, 2.5. And then play 2. I'm like, what the fuck? That's the most chaotic thing I've ever heard.
I feel like that's something I would do.
That's so
with
chaotic.
A game?
That's so chaotic.
A game is different,
No. Don't you even. It's the same thing. No. If it is released a certain way, then that means God shined on that person.
But I never
release it a certain way.
I never played the first Witcher game. Yeah.
Okay. That's different though.
It's not.
No, it is, because there's a game, you know the Persona games that your brother really likes? Yeah. He played Persona 5. That's okay, because the other Persona games, although it has to do with the same universe, they don't all connect. The Witcher games do connect, but don't connect in the storyline. Like, it doesn't follow the same storyline.
Okay.
I don't think you have to play those in order.
Thank you for giving me, for granting me your permission.
You're welcome. Okay. That being said, this is the most chaotic thing I've ever read. Why did you start with book 3?
I don't know. Sometimes you want to start with book 3. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I wouldn't do that. So.
She says, I haven't read the other 2 books, but just from this book, the men just see the women as all the same, where you can basically just chuck pretty shiny things at them until they quote unquote give in.
Well, first of all,
they don't understand humans.
They don't understand humans, yes. But also, she accepted the gifts, right? So isn't that like an indication like, yes, give me more gifts?
Yes. And also, I don't think, like, of course they understand humans are more complex than that. But also, it's just 3 dumb boys who are like, I get women. I get humans. Yeah. All of them. None of them have.
All you gotta do is go down on them and easy. She'll fall in love with you.
Of course, like I get where they're coming from, where that's kind of like irritating. But it's not. To me, it's just like you should have read the first 2.
And then again, I feel like the writing and like there's situations in the writing where it's so like too much, but like on purpose.
Yes.
You know. So if I were to read this book first, I think that's what I would just take that, you know?
Yeah.
I would take it as that. Like, oh, she's just always exaggerating, I guess.
Dang. It's going to bring up another thing that we disagree with. What fucked up universe is this? I didn't even finish the book because already the first 60 odd pages made me so uncomfortable after a point.
60 pages?
Yeah. And then they DNF'd. So they didn't even read a third of the book.
And they rated it 1 star?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't think...
It's kind of hard. I feel like if you are going to rate a book,
at least get like 70% in.
Well, also, if they put this book in their like Goodreads goal, but they didn't finish it, does that count?
It does. Actually, it does count it, but you didn't finish it.
I don't know. I just wouldn't have rated it. I just wouldn't have put it in. But I don't know. We very rarely DNF books.
Yeah.
So we just push through.
Trust me, sometimes I want to. You have no idea how badly I wanted to stop reading.
Yes. Husband material.
Thank you. I wanted to see if you would get it.
Of course I get it. I mean, we can't. Father material's almost out.
You're right. You're right.
No, I get what you mean. But then it feels kind of weird just because it's like, how much validity do you put to this review then? Because you didn't finish the book.
She said, what I read was enough. I got a gist of the whole world and the characters.
She continues to write, Dante just bites her and he just expects her to give in. What in the lack of consent is this? And I absolutely hate how Dante just expects her to just accept this. Like her feelings don't matter at all. And was like, ooh, but he's a dragon. He doesn't understand humans. Argument is not going to work. If he knew he would end up with a human mate, why in the bloody hell didn't he do his research and actually pretend like he cares about what she has to say and feel? Instead, he's a piece of crap who forced a woman to be horny for him, and I'm starting to hate him. I'm disgusted that the bar is this low for romance. I'm not finishing this. Sorry if this came off as very harsh. I'm just so done with straight books being so lacking. I expected so much more. I feel like they don't really understand Kimberly Lemming. Everyone who hates this is basically saying that. Lack of consent is not sexy. Okay. I get it. Because even us, we were just kind of like...
It did give me the ick.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I still think I'm going to rate it like a 2.5.
Maybe I'll sit with it a little bit longer.
Eat candy? 2 out of 5. Someone wrote, first of all, cinnamon is the bark of a specific tree. It does not grow in fields. Because that's what they said in all 3 books.
Oh, really? That's cool.
That's a very specific thing to be mad at. I would be mad too, though, because it's kind of like, you got to research that a little more. It's okay. I still love cinnamon.
I feel like Kimberly Lemming would be like, well, it's fantasy, so my cinnamon can grow where
I don't get this one that much. 2 out of 5. Obsessed with how this entire book fails the Bechdel test. It's the measure of the representation of women in other fiction.
Oh, yeah. For every 3 men, there's 1 woman or something like that? Yeah.
Failed the Bechdel test.
Yeah, because there's too many dumb men.
Damn, though. Oh, my gosh. I don't know how to feel. I'm glad that everyone's kind of in the same realm as I am, though. Where it's like, you know, you like Kimberly Lemming, but...
What are you talking about?
I don't see any of these 5 stars. I just don't see them. Suddenly I can't read. Someone's like, when's it my turn? Read it in one sitting. It was an easy read. I do appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Kimberly's done it once again. 3.5 stars. I like this, but not as much as the other book. It felt too rushed and confusing for the last third. I love both Cherry and Dante, but there was just something missing.
Yeah.
She gets it. Lizzie gets it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. It's kind of crazy how... I don't know, because I feel like the second book... Didn't the second book also have, like, moments of... Wait, is this consensual? Because wasn't it a love potion?
Because that was the whole reason they didn't want to have sex. Because it was like, you're under a love potion and I don't want to do this to you. But he was claiming that he had imprinted on her. And she wanted to have sex, but it was like, it just doesn't feel right. But then they do have sex.
Yeah, because I also remember that was my thought with the second book. That it doesn't really feel right and consensual 100%.
Is that like a... We can cut this if we want to. Is that like a thing, though? Like teetering on consent? Is that like a thing people like?
What is it? Isn't that like dubious consent?
Oh, you're right.
That is a thing. Which I feel like making them soulmates makes it like quote unquote okay. Which I wouldn't agree with, but I feel like that's how, you know, this situation.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that's how she gets away with it, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't think that's Kimberly Lemming's intention, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
I think she just likes to write, and she likes dumb men, and here they are. She also likes dragons and werewolves.
And demons.
Here they are. Yeah, they are funny.
So I guess I'm a little bit conflicted on that part of the consent, like the consent part.
Damn, people saying Dante's better than Fallon.
Don't even. Is Felix even in the conversation?
Oh my gosh.
Because he's better than Felix. Thank you.
No, dude. Felix is so good. Felix is funny. I don't know.
But I feel like he's too funny. Like, intentionally funny. Like, it's borderline cringe funny.
It's funny. You don't get it.
No,
He went on this whole ass quest, and the first thing Felix says to him is, "Hey, bestie." Dude, so good. It's so good. Dude, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna put this. Okay.
We'll finish your thought, and then
I'm gonna put this book in a bottle and just let it out and see. Oh. Not gonna think about it again.
And then a sailor will find it.
Yeah.
You're gonna put the whole book in the book.
A sailor will find it. Put a little note. DNF'd at 60 pages. Give it back to me.
DNF'd at 60 pages, but I did rate it 1 star.
Yeah. Thank you.
So there's that.
I just want to say thank you, everyone who's listening to this episode, whether it be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. We really appreciate it. If you want to leave a rating of 5 stars, because, like, why not?
Why not?
It doesn't take that long.
It's very quick. It's very, very nice. I feel like it's definitely helped to the people who have given us 5 stars. Thank you. I think it's helped a lot because we had traction.
Yeah, and honestly, this whole explanation, you could have already done it. So, like, might as well just do it. Yeah. And if you want to leave us a review and recommend a book for us to read for next year, because we're all booked for this year. Crazy. But new 2024 recommendations would be amazing. If you want to support us and you have, like, a little bit of gold and silver, what can they do?
Only gold and silver.
No copper.
So we do have a Patreon, and at the moment it's a little empty, but it really just serves as a way for our listeners to let us know that you appreciate what we do here. We do post twice a week. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You can find us on patreon.com/bookfix. But if you don't want the commitment of monthly, you can also find us on Buy Me a Coffee. ko-fi.com/thebookfix or Ko-fi, which is ko-fi.com/thebookfix.
And if you are watching us on YouTube, hello, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we post every Tuesday and Thursday, and we're caught up with our videos, right? Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Let's stay caught up, please.
Okay, sounds good. And if you want to support us on Instagram and Threads, we have one under the Book Fix Pod, THEBOOKFIXPOD. And then we also have a TikTok at the Book Fix, THEBOOKFIX. Thank you. Kimberly Lemming, we will see you in the next one. Well, only her specifically.
Well, no.
And she's over here on her computer. Yes, queens.
No, we won't. But
yeah, we will. We'll see her in the next one.
I hope. Oh my God, imagine she watches this.
Please, Kimberly, reach out. Thank you. Bye. Let's get drunk. It's like, they're all watching and it's like,
oh my gosh.
Let's get drunk.
She pulled out tequila.
The hornitos, dude.
It's funny how you want us to get drunk for the one that doesn't have That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human in the title. Don't you think that's a little bit funny?
Oh shit! It didn't work. Wait.
Stop! I don't want to go find it.
Dude! Never mind.
She's trying to flick off.
Guess we're not drinking.
Oh my God.
Flick off the cap.
Yeah, she's trying to flick off the cap.
Edit in post.
The edit is just gonna be a cap just flying by. It's like over your head.
You put like sound effects and it's like a car like, whoa, that far through.
Damn, that went really far. But yeah, are we gonna be drunk in the next one?
Yes. So for those watching, same clothes, very drunk people. Goodbye.